We are live. Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind,
Shift it.
and raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Christie.
And I am Mia, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour. Lucky you.
Plus,
Right. I don't think we have one episode that was only
we're almost at an hour for one, I think.
Oh, well.
But
You know,
honestly.
look, you guys know what I mean. So, last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Whew, we had it was rough. We talked about breakups.
Yeah.
We really dug into when it's time to go, why we stay longer when we know it's not good for us.
Right.
And then, you know, what we can potentially learn about ourselves through breakups, and of course, the healing part. Which brings us directly into today's topic. So we're talking about being single in a whole new awareness. Meaning being single and knowing your worth, knowing your power,
Yes.
healing yourself,
Yes.
loving yourself.
Yes.
Sis is winning. Sis is meditating.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. She's
Yes, she
drinking
is.
water.
Yes, she
Sis
is.
in the gym.
Yes, she
She's
is.
doing that shadow
Yes, she
work.
is. And she's minding her business.
And she's minding her business. Okay, sorry. Wait, I got distracted. Okay. Being single like that is way different than being single and desperately trying not to be single. And yet we always talk about energy matching energy. So, okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
No, but I mean, honestly, that is a great point. And so last week, you guys, I shared some personal things that I've been going through. And some of you have been asking if I was okay. I mean, it's just, I am okay, but whenever I deal with emotional shit, eating is like the first thing, so I just don't eat. Anyway, but for those of you that asked, thank you.
Well, I'm eating for.
But that's okay. I'm going to eat something after this. But
Yes.
so, you know, as I continue to move through this situation, I'm having a better understanding as to why people stay single. And for me, what has occurred to me is now that I understand that, you know, I am worthy. And everything that I desire, if it does not meet that desire, then it is not something that is for me, and it's not something that I'm going to accept. Like, once I've gotten to that point where it's just like, I'm tired of settling, that has allowed me to see and better understand why people stay single. You know, I'd rather stay single and know that, and I talk about this all the time, I sleep very well at night. But, you know, I know some people dealing with people, you know, they want to be in that relationship, they can't sleep at night. But for me, you know, now that I have an understanding of what I'm worth and what I desire, I realize that I don't need, and I'm not interested in just a one-night stand. I'm not interested in something temporary. And I've honestly am learning, and I say learning, excuse me, I'm learning to find contentment in getting to know me in this new space. It's a little different.
It's special.
It's different, but, you know, I mean, just because I was always on the go, or I was going there and I was meeting them there and going there, but now I have limited my access, and so I have a lot of time to do things that I haven't been able to do, which has been very good. And I've been just learning a lot about myself.
That.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about that.
Yep. But I will admit, because again, I'm in no way such a cute fall theme over here. I'm sorry, I got distracted. In no way am I saying that I'm perfect and, you know, I'm on this spiritual journey and because I'm hurt, I'm good and there's nothing that can penetrate my, you know, I'm not like that at all, because yesterday was a rough day for me and I did shed a couple tears. So each day is different.
Just a couple?
Yeah, just a couple.
I shed a couple tears yesterday just because it was Tuesday.
See, and I'm going to talk about this a little later. I think I've just learned to suppress things. But yesterday, but you know, I also think that it has to do with me being a little hormonal and Mercury retrograde. Is it Mercury or Mars that's in retrograde? Mercury. Yeah.
Girl, who knows? It's 2020.
I spilled water in my laptop. I mean, it's just like there was stuff that usually happens that I was like, how in the hell? Oh, I got it. I have to slow down. My back went out again. in a row. Like, oh,
Ladies,
okay.
I'll say this, guys. Let's just get this out the way. We have been so conditioned, and I'm saying ladies, and honestly, this applies to gentlemen too. We have been so conditioned to believe that, you know, your goal is to find the mate, is to find, you know what I mean? So we think of being single, especially if you've grown. You're like, oh crap, I'm running out of time. We think of it as, you know, something negative. Being single is not a curse. A lot of things happen when you're single. And sometimes that solitude is what the best growth time, because you literally are focusing only on yourself. So let's just put that out there. It is not a curse. We're not saying, look, we're not over here saying stay single forever, because sis don't believe in that. Not. I'm just enjoy your life, but also when spirit is calling you to take care of yourself, pay attention. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that requires for you to be single.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Gouda is delicious.
I got her to eat some cheese, y'all.
Yummy.
So, and it's the other thing. When you're single and aware of the fact that you're healing and there's some things that you're trying to go through, that's a different type of single. Because now you're intentionally single. You're owning it. It's not this desperation to not be. Yes, ma'am.
Can we define healing? Because I feel like healing is becoming a trendy word. You know, like it's almost becoming...
Ooh, good point.
It's almost becoming like self-care. You know, and I would really like to provide a definition of healing, because I think a lot of people are now taking it a little lightly.
Okay. Okay, so just think of a wound. Mm-hmm. So you have a wound, or a cut, a scratch, or something, and the healing process for that is cleansing, allowing whatever the icky stuff that's in there to come out, and then allowing it to close on its time. And then as it closes, that's when the healing, and that's when don't pick the scab.
Right.
So healing, I think, is the process of rebuilding. It's recreation.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've cut a piece of myself and I need to recreate it.
Yep.
And that's the healing process.
Yep. And you guys know I'm big on definition. And so...
look, I'm like, that was just my ghetto version.
The definition that I pulled is the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. Mm-hmm. So think about, you know, we are a whole person, and when we allow ourselves, or things just happen where we have trauma or things happen and we require healing, we are no longer whole. We are no longer that one unit. We now have pieces taken from us, and we now need to call those pieces back into us. And so however we need to get those pieces back to us to make us whole, that is healing. So I just wanted to ask about that definition, because I hear it used all the time, and I just wanted to make sure that people understood that it's not surfacey, it's deeper than that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm actually glad you did that. That's an excellent point. So healing, and being single, and like I said, I think there's an intent to being single when you're going through the process of healing. You know. And I think, and I'm going to keep it 100. And, you know, you guys have heard me. I've been going through my healing process, and she's single. She's ready now, though. But I would say this, because what I realized, what I deserved, and what I was manifesting into my life, right there, that part, what I was manifesting, this relationship that's coming, doesn't deserve me to bring my past pain with it.
Yeah.
We deserve better than that. I deserve better than that. So taking the time to, you know, just kind of be me, but intentionally. She is okay. I'm not out here begging and desperate. I'm fine. But I was very intentional, and like I just needed to be honest with myself. And, you know. So what do you think, Christy?
So, you know that my recent breakup is new. Well, I guess you guys too. that listen.
Yes.
So I'm actively working on the healing process now. So I'm doing a lot of work and focused energy in my heart.
I got the cat.
You did! Oh my gosh! She just adopted a kitty and got him. He's so...
Wait, Jay's in the other room. It's a surprise for the... Okay, yes. I'm so excited.
Sorry,
Okay.
she just heard. Apologize.
Okay, I'm excited. Okay, sorry.
So I'm actively working on my healing piece now because this is so new to me. But I will say that in the past, because my first marriage was abusive, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, everything, all of the above. So from that, I've kind of learned to compartmentalize my feelings. And so I can be, if I need to be hard, I can be hard. If I need to be whatever, and if something happens to me, I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to tuck this away and put this in box number 5, and I'll deal with box number 5 when I feel like it. And I think from that situation, I've learned to just okay, whatever. But now, and this is thanks to you, Mia, whenever you say feel the feels, whenever I feel it kind of, erupting like a volcano of emotions, I'm like, we don't have time for that. We gotta, no, we don't have. So I've gotten to a point where it's like, okay, well,
just let it happen.
Let me allow it to come up, and there'll be like a tear.
Oh, look at she's a tear.
And then I'm like, okay. Let's go. But I think, healing is all new for me, but it's intentional healing, and I think that's a difference too. When it's intentional.
Oh, it's definitely it's a difference.
When we go through trauma, we kind of expect it to happen just on its own, but sometimes it requires our work and effort.
Well, I mean, and you got to think of, so consider this. We're gonna keep it real. Whatever, when we're single and we're kind of healing ourselves from whatever relationship trauma, baggage, or whatever we brought into it. Think about this: there are times when in the relationship, or else we'd still be with them, that you're crying like that anyway. You're on the emotional roller coaster with somebody, and but we're supposed to be together. So I would rather be on the emotional roller coaster of healing as opposed to being on your motherfucking roller coaster. I don't like your ride. I don't.
I'd like off, please.
I want off. Stop. I'm no mas.
Please. I'd like off.
And then also the other thing about being single and allowing yourself to heal for a while is we want to be careful of trauma bonding. So I'm feeling. I'm feeling
bounce back. No, not
right.
Bounce back, but
you know what I mean? What do they say? When you're trying to get over somebody, get under somebody else.
Right. You get over to get under. Wait, you got to get under to get over. Is that what Michael Jackson was talking about?
Oh my God! Oh, MJ, boy, it's gotta go. We over here wait, is that what he was talking about?
We feel like we just solved an unsolved mystery.
Unsolved Mysteries by Mia and Christie. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why that just popped. Okay, it's the blood.
Sorry.
Okay, my bad.
But we want to be careful of trauma bonding with someone. Yeah. So, I'm in pain. I'm going through, a breakup and I don't feel full because I was in a relationship where I didn't feel full. So now I feel even less full. And then somebody comes up and whatever trauma they're going through, and you can really have a very strong trauma bond because you're both in a place where you need to heal. But instead of healing yourself, you look for this one for healing and they look for you for healing. But now you're bonded in trauma. So
that's deep.
Yeah. And then here's a messed up thing. Talk about the lesson. Then when you go through all of that and then you're like, I have to let this go too. Now you've dug yourself a deeper hole because now you have to deal with what you got there in the first place with, and then now what we've created in this relationship, and that's more healing. But it's all a part of the journey.
It is.
But allowing yourself some singledom, so you don't do that. It's like just give yourself a little time.
Yeah. And I've honestly been acknowledging the fact, like, okay, this really sucks. Even as oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Even as a 45-year-old woman, you know, it gets emotional and it's hard. It hurts. Sometimes I'm
like
sad.
A motherfucker.
Right. And even the older that I get, of course, I look at it from a different lens, but it still hurts. Nonetheless.
And that's the thing. It sucks so bad when you're in a situation where you're thinking, when it sucks because when you're in a relationship, it's like I'm hurting, but then it's like the thought of not being in it is also painful. And that's what, and I think we said this in the last episode. It's you will still grieve things that you know aren't good for you. Yeah. So if you're expecting yourself when you leave a situation and you're like, I need to strike out on my own. If you're expecting, I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, everything's fine. No, it's still there's still love there. There's still connection there. There's still something that brought you there in the first place. And until you deal with what brought you there in the first place and made you believe that you deserve less than, it's still there. That's true. That's hard to let go of that. It's like, I know this is not good for me, but this shit hurts. It's like it's real deal.
No, absolutely. And I think, like, for my situation, this is where I finally, and I already told you all the history of this, I finally decided to choose myself. And, you know, we kind of talked about, well, me and I, about being our own damn soulmates. Yeah. Like, I fuck with you. I look in the mirror and be like, bitch, let me tell you something.
I fucks with you. I fucks with you. Girl, hey, girl. I mean, because, but, again, why is that, though? Because when you're designing, you know, we guys tell you all the time, you are in the seat of power in your freaking life, and you create this shit. Yep. So when you are designing what it is that you want for your life in terms of a relationship, this is about matching energy. That's why you have to be full and whole. Yep. And being single allows you to do that. So this is about matching. So when you're thinking about how somebody looks at you, how they treat you, and all that yummy stuff, and then, but you don't treat yourself like that.
Well, that was me.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So now,
like over 10 years ago.
But you know what I mean? But then when you start treating yourself well, and you're your own soulmate, and you literally looking at yourself like, I see you, sis. You back to work.
I'm like, oh, what, you want to buy me another purse for my birthday?
Oh my goodness,
okay.
really?
Oh gosh, thank you so much. How did you know?
How did you know? And then, now that's that energy match.
Yep.
Because you became your own damn soulmate. And it's just like, because now your energy won't even allow anything less than to come into your sphere. It's like repellent. Like, shoo, get away.
Yeah. Honestly, things change when you change the way that you vibrate. When you vibrate at a higher level, when you change your frequency, when you change the way that you think. And again, I'm not professing that I'm perfect in this at all, because I'm still learning. But again, I also think that this walk, you are constantly learning.
You absolutely are.
Constantly.
And I'll say this too. Like, and we're going to keep it real. Sometimes,
real.
We not all, look, everybody listening and looking, like, and everybody talking, us, you're not always the victim. Like, dealing with the fact that you may be the villain in somebody's story, that you may be the one that hurt somebody, whether intentional or not. We also have to understand, like, and think back to, like, if in your journey where you've hurt, and there's something in you that, you know, hurt people. You say this all the time. Yep. So just heal like people are heal people. So that's what I'm saying. You have to have some self-compassion for yourself. Yep. And just be honest with yourself about who you are and who you were at that time. And, you know, I'm always going to tell you, you got to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. But acknowledgement of, man, I was here. I did that. Ooh, I was a fucked up one.
But you know what you said?
But talk through it. Work yourself out.
You said forgive yourself.
Yes.
And that was an exercise that I did for myself. But I just started thinking, why do people avoid that? Maybe the reason why people don't want to forgive themselves is because it tells them that they were the ones that did something wrong.
Thank you. I'm about to say,
And
to
people
forgive
don't wanna
yourself, you
admit
have to
that.
acknowledge it.
Yes.
Do you know how difficult it is to
You gotta
acknowledge?
answer your own questions.
Especially when you're like, I'm a good person when you're talking about. So now I have to acknowledge, no, bitch, you did some fucked up shit.
Right.
And then so I have to go there and then working through forgiving myself. But I think the most difficult part is acknowledging your own shit.
Yeah, acknowledging. And, you know, I think, and this is human nature, but we like to put the blame on something else. Oh, well, you know, I wasn't able to do it because... Oh, well,
child.
you know, my parents made me this way. Or, oh, you know, my sisters didn't develop a relationship with me, so I was left to my own devices.
Oh, my goodness,
So
girl,
there
come
are
on.
reasons for all of that stuff, but I will say, especially in this vein, that choosing me was necessary. And I think that was a huge step for me, because I think in the past, I've always had someone there. And
you know what? That's an interesting. You know what? And I will tell you this. Like we were saying, getting under and being funny, but there is something to. I think it's human nature. There's something about when you're going through the healing process, when it gets painful. Like, I don't want to do it by myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly think sometimes that's how we get in relationships that we probably should not be in.
That's true.
That's that trauma bonding.
But see, also, I think the reason why people may not want to go through that themselves, I mean, sometimes that can be the actual, remember we talked about going into the dark? When the scene needs to go into the dark?
Absolutely.
And they're afraid, like, well, why would I want to go in the dark?
Like, that's stupid.
I'm about to have these petals popping.
Poppin'!
But, you know, it's different for everyone, but I think finally choosing me was part of growth.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it was one of the most important lessons that I'm learning through this spiritual journey. And one of the big lesson is, like, everything that I need or everything that I feel that I need in my life, I get it from me first.
And then
you can get it from someone else. You don't
because
need it.
It just comes.
But it's not like you need it. So if you want love, start with yourself
and
first.
And then think about this. And just think about, you know, somebody that you're attracting in your life.
Yeah.
Do you know how beautiful and powerful and empowering it can be for someone who loves you when they know this person doesn't need me. They choose me and a woman. This a whole beautiful ass queen all by herself, and she's choosing to be with me because she wants to.
Right. And that's why I understand.
That's some sexy shit.
It is. And that's why I understand why people stay single or why they are single. Because before I was just like, are you serious? Like, really? How does that work? You can...
But, like, I don't get it.
What?
But wait, but then what do you do?
No, like, seriously, at night, like, what happens if you want to have sex? Like,
then what?
yeah, but, you know, again, like, looking outside of yourself, that's one of the things that I learned is not the thing to do. Like, everything I desire is within me, and that includes happiness, being fulfilled, love, feeling like I'm completed, you know, feeling of wholeness, all of that. Like, all of that starts with me. And that was a huge lesson. And I definitely believe, because you touched on this too, you touched on this earlier, is like, you know, frequency, you attract that certain frequency. You have to vibrate at that frequency to attract it. And it is so true. You become what you want to attract.
Exactly.
You have to.
Exactly.
And so there's this quote from Einstein that I saw. It's in the binder of my Angelic Reiki manual. And I wanted to take a picture and post it, but I keep forgetting. But I thought that this was perfect to share here. And so it's a quote from Einstein. And it says, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is philosophy. This is physics. And so the moment we begin to accept this as our truth, I honestly believe, because my life has changed, your life will begin to change. You have to accept it as truth, because there are a lot of people, I know sometimes, you know, people that I talk to about some of this stuff, they look at me like, I'm making big, surprise, googly eyes.
Emojis.
You know, like they're
Emoji
looking at
eyes.
me like, are you serious? Like, I'm surprised you're not in a straitjacket or in someone's hospital getting some help. You know, like they look at me like that, but it's just like, no, it's for real. And then when I showed a friend of mine the whole parking thing, like, no, it's all about putting it out into the universe.
Oh, what do you call it? It's so cute.
Parking favor.
Parking favor? Yes, I love that.
I'm like, okay, we go to a restaurant. Okay, we're going to get parking favor. And then I don't stress about it. And so maybe you drive around two times, maybe even three. But then a park opens right in front of the spot. Like, right in front of the spot. I mean, seriously? Parking favor.
I always say, when I pull up someplace, I do believe in parking favor, but I always like, oh, where's my VIP spot? I swear. And I pull up like, oh, VIP, she got that VIP, boop, boop.
Yeah.
And I truly believe, and then I always protect my car because it ain't no telling.
Oh, yeah, I protect my She taught me that. I protect my car.
Because Chicago, with these
and those
tickets,
let me tell you.
and these signs.
Yes.
And
now, you taught me that, and it has worked.
It worked.
I think the one time that I didn't do it, I got a ticket.
See? No. Oh, and everything. Where was I?
I'm sorry, I know we're getting off topic.
No, seriously. The one time I didn't do it, and I got a ticket. I was like, what the? Oh, because I was sure about to be like, yeah. I'm like, nope, didn't even say it.
Thank you. You guys could remind me.
Right, thank you. I'm like, right. You couldn't tap me on my shoulder like, hey, you good? Okay,
you sure?
You okay? She got it.
I'm like, she didn't ask us for help, so
she must got it. Okay, sorry, we went off on a tangent.
So what are your thoughts on become what you want to attract?
Christy knows this, and I'll say this. Like we talk about this all the time. Throughout this process, for me, it has been all about me loving myself and literally just like the energy match. I'm telling you guys, even the type of people. The way people come to me, I literally get no bullshit my way at all, just because my aura doesn't allow that, because what I'm attracting into my life. And when I say, and I don't care if y'all think this sounds egotistical, because it's not. When I tell you, like, I literally look in the mirror myself, and I tell myself I love myself, and when I say I mean it, like I actually mean it. And so me becoming, someone who's adventurous and open and all these things, that's who I am. So that's what I'm going to attract into my life. I don't see another way. But when I'm putting the energy out there that I need someone to fill a hole, then that's what I'm attracting. Then I'm going to fill a hole, and that's it. But because I'm full and a whole ass being, that's what they're going to have to be. I said what I said. So I'm a big fan of this. I'm all about embodying your desires.
And it makes a difference. Like, and when we do our workshop,
yes,
when we do our workshop, we can discuss this further. But
our guys really be getting us all together.
You definitely have to become what you attract. And I tell people all the time, if you want something, how the person that's going to receive that. How would they think? How would they eat? How would they hold themselves? How would they sleep? How would they talk to people? My God.
This is our temple work for today. This is literally our temple work for today.
Is
okay.
It?
Yes,
okay.
It is. Okay. But that's because that's sending out vibrations. The word, like what the quote literally just said from Einstein. Everything is energy, so that you're creating it in energy first, and then it manifests itself physically on this plane.
Yep, and that's why crystal healing and Reiki and angelic Reiki is very important, because it helps with the energy. It starts with the energy.
Ooh.
Sorry, shameless plug. Sorry, not sorry.
We got some stuff. Okay, so the other thing is during the single time is to explore your triggers.
Oh, yeah.
And the things that empower you. So, when you get triggered when I see your face. Y'all know I love Janae Aiko. Let me tell you something.
I don't know that song now.
Girl, yes you do.
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to play it for you when we're done.
Okay.
If I was an artist and I could sing, when I say this woman raised my soul, I'm like, how? She's cold to me. But, so when things are triggering to you, that's a sign that's something that you need to heal. when you feel yourself going there, you like, you need to just be like, pause, like, oh, message, okay, let me dig into that. But then also pay attention to the things that make you feel beautiful and good and happy and free. And you're like, oh, I need to do some more of this.
Yeah.
So but exploring the triggers. Okay, because we had this conversation the other day. Wait, what did I do? I was going to Whole Foods. I think it might have been the last time and I was like, I was triggered. I was in the this is before we did the break. Just thinking about talking about that episode. I was in the grocery store with a scowl on my face, and I was like, "Oh, you got some work to do. You still, because you straight
thought you were done.
You thought you were cool. Remember we talked about something? I'm like, damn.
It's like it always seems like there's more work.
Why is it? It's always more work, but explore them, and because if you think about it, then that's a lesson I need to give me my lesson so I can keep it pimping.
Right.
I like to keep it moving, so I'm not afraid of the lessons anymore. But the triggers are just signs for you.
Yep.
How you dealing with your triggers?
So it's interesting because triggers, I was like, I don't know if I have any triggers, but I will say, like, in the past there would be a song that comes on. Ooh. And I'll be like, I have to turn this off because it reminds me of this person, and then you start feeling the feels and like how listening to the song with that person will make you feel. And so I would just like turn it off.
Motherfucker.
It is. And it's in your soul. But the funny thing is now...
You ain't stealing my music, Joy, though. Fuck that
But
shit.
now I'll hear songs and I still enjoy it.
Yes, I'm like, you're not stealing my music,
I'm
Joy.
I'm still popping, I'm still dancing, whatever it is. I still enjoy the music, and it's so interesting to look at how it used to affect me to now. It's just like, I can still listen to the same song. Before I used to turn it off, like, I don't want to listen to that. But I will say that setting boundaries and not compromising has helped me feel more empowered. Because before, I wouldn't necessarily lay out the groundwork, like, this is what I want or this is what I expect. And I would allow the person that I had broken up with to still kind of invade my life in a way. Mm-hmm. But I think now I've put it out there. It's like, okay, well, I can't hug you because I know exactly what that's going to produce. Mm-hmm. I can't let you touch me because I know what that does to me. I know what that does to me. None of that. Can't hug, nothing. We're good. But I think it's important to set those boundaries and then communicate.
I think so. Okay. So I will admit. So here's I'll tell you this. What I learned about myself. Well, what happened is I would set a boundary, and then I would communicate it, and then I would totally abandon that fucking boundary.
Okay, one pump.
Okay, right. Just the head. Just the head. I don't even like you like that.
And then at the end, you're like, oh, that was so good.
I'm not even tonguing.
Damn it, why am I back over here? Now you did again. I thought I was strong.
So what I had to do, and this is what I learned about myself, and this is totally just, because I do think communication is extremely important. I'm a communication strategist. That's what I've been doing for 20 years. So I totally understand the power. But this is what I understood about myself. Anytime I was setting a boundary and I was communicating it secretly, I was saying it because I wanted you to challenge it. I wanted the person I was with to make it go away, to make it better. So
As a means of showing you that he's still interested and still loves you.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy how we play these type of games
with ourselves
instead of just saying out front, like, I want you to want me.
Like, nigga, like, act right. So when I learned that about myself through my self-healing single process, I was like, oh, that's what you were doing. So the last time that I set the boundary, I was like, I'm not saying a damn thing because I have trained this person. My words don't mean anything when it comes to my boundaries because I always abandon them. And in my head, I'm like, oh, it's because I love you. But that's not, no, you're abandoning yourself. Right. So I had to get to the point I was like, let me show you better than I can tell you because I for real mean it this time. Like, no, for real, I mean it this time. But I'm not about to have this conversation. And that's when I knew for a fact that I was like, oh, you mean it for real this time because you feel no need. I don't want to hear your response. I'm not interested in what you think. I don't give a fuck. All I know is that you are not treating me according to how I should be valued, and it's time for me to go. And I finally figured it out. But But that was for me. I realized like, oh, when you really talking about you're really, it's like I'm giving you the alley-oop, dude. Hey, I'm thinking this, and
right.
dunk it. I'm throwing you perfect alley-oops.
And he's throwing the ball to the other team.
Like, you dumb. But I realized that's what I was doing. So I was like, I need to shut up. And keep it moving.
And so for some reason, this made me think of, a car. So when you decide to make the decision to take the wheel of the vehicle, your life, you are the one that's in charge of getting yourself to your desired destination. No one else. So this is you, versus you relying on someone else. You is you. Nobody but you. And so, this is the same thing. It's just, and I love analogies because it's like, okay, well, you have someone that is in the car.
I love analogies too. Yep.
They're not taking you to the destination that you've asked them to go. I want to go.
Uber driver's app is broken.
Right. It's supposed to only take 20 minutes. It's taking you an hour. So it's just like, forget it. Let me take the wheel. I'm going to take myself to this destination. That is another, for me, I think that's also just a way of reclaiming your control over your life, empowering yourself to make those decisions.
And I'm always like, we are always in the seat of power.
We are.
Always,
it's all a choice. It is all a choice. And I feel like I've been saying it like a broken record, but it literally just came to me like 2 weeks ago in meditation. Everything in life is a choice. We'll complain about things. Oh, my job, I hate it. My coworkers, blah, blah, blah. Get another job. It's a choice. We remain in these relationships. Oh, I can't believe he's cheating on me. It's been multiple girlfriends, babies. You make the choice. Everything is a choice. We make it seem like, oh, I can't do it. Yes, once you make the choice, it may be hard. We're not saying that once you make a choice, life is going to be perfect.
It's going to be like, oh, okay, it's cool.
Right. Get that.
No. And this is the thing. Not making a choice is making a choice as well. You are choosing to sit still. Yeah. Just FYI. You need some of that.
Thank you.
We're almost done. I love that. So, let's talk about some self-love. And yeah, look, let me tell y'all something. I think I just posted something about self-love.
I think you did.
Love of self is the new black.
Yes.
Because, it
is, but here's the thing.
I think it's so sexy.
It is sexy, but I also don't want it to become one of those trendy things like self-care.
Yes.
And,
no, but I'm talking about true love of self. I'm not talking about because I'm this. No. When I tell you true love of self is,
you see people posting, oh, I love myself, self-love. But you already know that they're posting it because they don't yet believe it, but they want to make themselves accountable to that post, and so that's their way of.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, though. If that's what helps you get there.
That's what I used to do when I was going through. When I was going through my stuff with my ex-husband, I was posting like always positive things. This guy that I went to school with at Northwestern University, I won't say his name.
Wildcats.
Yes, Wildcats. But he said something, and he basically said what I was posting was, he was like, I've never seen so much self-propaganda. And at first I was like, huh?
Rude.
And then I kind of sat there. I was like, so was that a cut? Yeah, it was a cut. And I just decided not to respond to him. But I was just like, I like positive things. I've always loved positive things. I've always posted positive quotes, always.
But my thing is, so there's a self-love. That's that point where it's just like, okay, but this is just who I am. So like you and your little opinion about how you interpret, that don't have nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, that's none of my damn business how you interpret it. So
what's that quote? How you think about me or how you view me
is none of my business. I'm a big fan of that. That's literally like, I don't even understand. Like,
and that's
what
something
that
I've gotten. Like, I tell myself, I was like, that's not my business. None of my business.
Oh my God. I would tell you, embracing that is one of the most freeing things you can ever do. Just like, I like, when I like legit, like, it's just, and what? So yeah. But back to self-love, sorry.
Yes, self-love.
So I want to really talk about what this means and what this looks like as we, like we're going through day to day. Well, first, most importantly, it's honoring yourself in every situation, choosing you first. If you like keeping it 100, and I know This will give mommies heart palpitations. We're mommies too. But when I tell you, especially spiritually and emotionally, always choose you first. Just like on the damn plane. Put your oxygen mask on first. Before, and that's just...
You have to feel yourself first.
You have to feel yourself. So honoring yourself in every situation. So if you're in a situation and you feel like you have to convince someone to love you,
baby, bye.
That's not self-love, and that is not honoring yourself.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so one of the other things is that we want to discuss as far as self-loving and making sure that you're honoring yourself. Self-loving. Yeah. Self-loving is making sure that you're doing the things that don't serve you.
Like, stop doing this stuff.
Yeah, but you said something and it sticks with me. Like, whenever Mia says stuff, it sticks with me. It really does. Some of the stuff.
So sweet. Some of it.
I'll say like 33%.
Oh, okay, I'll take it. Sure.
No, but she says, if it doesn't serve you, let it go. But make sure when you're letting it go or releasing it, that you're releasing it with gratitude. Because at some point, it did serve you in your life.
And acknowledge it.
And that's big.
It is big.
That is big. Like, we're just like, I'm not that person anymore. Okay, but at some point we were. And there was a reason why we were. So
and can we talk about why we were?
Let's go back and talk about that.
Bing.
And a lot of people don't want to face that. They don't want to deal with that. So I think that's really important. Like, and it's easy to say, you got to stop. Because some stuff that we do in life, it becomes a habit where we can't do it. It's almost like we're triggered. Like, when we stop.
Triggered.
It's like we start scratching and itching like, oh, I need some of that drama back. You know?
Yes. No.
Ooh, I gotta.
Yeah, no, seriously. I do think that people can get addicted to drama. Mm-hmm. Because and I'm talking about this. I think it is just the creation that we are. It is literally our job to just try to figure out what we can be. And that drama is like a, that up and down. It's stretching ourselves, and we can kind of get addicted to that without really thinking that it's doing anything. Mm-hmm. That's why I stopped watching all of the This is just me. I'm not suggesting this for anybody. Don't add me. I don't care.
She'll add you back.
Because I'm like, I just don't care. I stopped watching the Basketball Wives and Housewives just because I realized it was literally just feeding a drama thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, and it's just like, I really to check myself. It's just like, but for real, like, what is this? Is this an escape from reality? You want to escape from reality? Watch this TV show of a bunch of women acting a damn
fighting themselves.
Fool.
I can't tell you the last time I watched
I'm not hating on you ladies getting paid, do you? But I'm talking about in terms of my media diet and what I'm intaking. Yeah. And I just decided that was no longer good enough for me.
Yeah. And I think we talked about that before. Whenever I tell people I don't watch TV, they're like, what do you mean? Huh? Can you write that out for me?
No,
or draw?
She for real don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV.
I watch little TV. But I'm very specific. I watch all happy stuff.
I don't watch TV, so people will be talking about shows, and I'm just like, ooh, what's that? Who? Wait, and who's in the show? Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I thought, I have no idea. People, but they put me on, and I stay abreast. Bam. Okay.
Another self-love is discovering... especially as you're single.
Ooh, yeah.
This is the fun part.
Yeah.
Discovering what you actually really want.
Yeah, like somebody...
Like for real want.
Yes, like for real. Like when I was going through my divorce, people were like, oh my gosh, I'll be keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. Oh, that's so scary. Well, it's like, well, you know what? The funny thing is, actually no.
It's not.
Actually, I'm starting from a piece of blank paper or canvas.
Fun or clay.
Yeah, and I get to create or draw out the type of life that I want.
You better work your artistry. Better work it.
So instead of me being afraid, I started twisting things like, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity for me to rediscover myself.
Oh, I get it now.
It makes so much sense. That was my retreat. She still talks about me. It's okay. Man, we were in between. I was in this one dimension.
Do you know where we are?
I was in this one dimension. I don't know what it was. But I swear, and I tell people, I've told a friend this who looked at me, who gave me that look. I was like, oh my gosh, I was in this dimension, and where it's like I saw the blueprint of my life, and I could erase rooms and create more rooms, and make 2 floors.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh! And I told me, I was like, do you know where we are?
That's
where it was. It was so cool though. It was the coolest thing.
Wait, but I was acting a fool.
Matrix.
Right, I was about to be like, no, but I'm making fun of her, but I was telling everybody.
Remember, 011101.
Remember, I was telling everybody. I was like, y'all, come get on this ride.
It's free.
It's free.
Join the rainbow.
This is like, oh my god. This is amazing.
I know when she put the cover on you, you were like, ooh, I feel like a marshmallow.
Ooh, child. Okay, breathe, get it together.
Alright, we got off.
All right, so
fun times.
we're trying to get our lives together. Okay, Chrissy, you go.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you get a chance to discover what you really want, and so I just changed the way that I was thinking. So instead of being afraid, I started getting excited with the possibilities.
Yes, oh, I love that. No, you guys, for real, that's real key. That's a game changer.
So next is knowing yourself versus embracing your ego. So
okay,
let's talk about that.
When I think about ego, like embracing your ego, I'm thinking about all of the things that are outward facing, right? As opposed to,
I have an analogy.
Oh, of course she does. As opposed to the things that we love making up analogies, y'all. Like we become like, oh, I thought of this analogy.
So good.
That's as opposed to knowing yourself, like from the root, from the rooter to the tutor. I just watched Boomerang the other night, girl.
I haven't seen that in so long.
You watch it again.
That was so good.
It is about the brain.
But where can I watch it? Can I watch it on YouTube?
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
I don't have a Netflix account.
You can log onto my Netflix account, girl. I got on like 3 of them. Like 3 Netflix accounts.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I mean, no, we don't allow that, right? Whatever.
Oh yes, we don't condone that whatsoever.
Whatsoever.
Me out. Get my own Netflix account. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But so when I think of it, that's what I think of. It's a like, let's stop worrying about what everybody else thinks and worry about what do I think about myself. But what's your analogy?
Okay. And I hope that one of the people that we play tennis with won't be listening, but you may. But this made me think about it. So, okay. I think it was our last group. The last time I was there with the group, it was all 4 of us playing tennis, and I was high, and I think you were too.
Yes. I was like, yep. But was it a day that ended in a Y?
Yeah.
Yep. Then I was high.
But I had the best day. Like, it was so much fun. Like, I just had a ball. And honestly, Mia was like, did she have sex with him? I was like, no, I didn't. Actually, I'm just like very joyful.
She came. No, y'all. If y'all would have seen the way she walked up on this court with them little quick legs, like you trying to squeeze your stuff back together because you just got worked out. That's what she was walking up to the tennis court. I'm just saying, it looked like a post de-appointment walk. I'm just gonna say that, and that's what I'm saying.
That was 3 days ago. 3 days before that day. But no, when we were playing, so Mia and I were just having a good time. And at one point, oh my gosh, I was filled with so much joy. I was telling Mia, I was like, oh my gosh, I just feel so much joy playing with everybody, playing tennis. But at one point, we were all hitting the balls, going back and forth, and it was just relay. We were relaying.
Rallying.
There you go. It's the Bordeaux. Anyway, so we're hitting the balls back and forth, and then everyone is just so excited.
I can't.
I loved it so much.
I'm so happy.
Every time I hit the ball, I just be like, hee.
This Bordeaux is the shit.
Yeah, that Bordeaux. Yeah, that Bordeaux is. Please finish it off.
Oh, no,
That
man.
Bordeaux is, it's very good. But I was filled with so much joy. And then, like, I started noticing the other two ladies playing with us would get very upset when they missed the ball. And, I mean, we are competitive because
Yes.
we've all done sports or something in our life. We
like to compete. It's fun.
We do like to compete. But I think at a certain point, you know, Mia and I are just like, oh, it's fun. Like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But no. For the other two, no. I missed the ball. Oh! Mia, you know it's right. So I just thought about it because you and me, we can be like representatives or symbols of like knowing ourselves and being competent and being fine with just like, okay, we're going to miss the ball. Fuck it, whatever. Or we can embrace the ego, which is, how dare you miss that ball? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you missed it. You're so stupid.
I can't. I want to go. Oh, wait, I am.
That's it.
I can't breathe. Okay.
But you know it's true. Don't you know
But what I
it's
do,
true?
but I do understand what you're saying. It's
Right.
like allowing yourself to just be present in the moment and enjoy who you are. Okay, but so we talked about being full and complete and whole. So you don't find your worth in a partner. You find your worth, and then a partner finds you that's worthy of you.
I love that.
That's how that goes.
Say it
It's
again.
not. So you do not find your worth in a partner.
Will.
You find your worth
Hey!
on your own, and then a partner finds you that is worthy of you.
Hey, baby.
That's how that works. And but that comes from that self-love. That
Yeah.
really just being.
But
like,
it's true. Like once you discover like who you truly are, let's just say it in layman's terms, okay?
Yes.
What are you bringing to the table? Once you realize you're bringing the table
the whole table,
and the chairs,
and the chairs. You want me to tablescape this bitch
right?
too?
Then you realize it's like, okay, well, what are you bringing to the table? Are you trying to give me a leaf? No. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
This Bordeaux is from France. How dare you make me?
I'm sorry, I made a choke.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
I forgot what I was saying.
I forgot.
You scared me.
I'm sorry. I'm okay. No,
But
Coco,
no, once
just
you
choking.
find your worth in a partner, you find your worth, and then a partner finds worthy of you. Like what she's just said, and I know I just messed that up. It's okay, you guys.
But y'all know what you know what she meant.
You know what I mean. But I love that. I truly love that. And you have probably heard us say this before, is that I have learned to treat myself very well.
Yes.
Very well.
Oh, my goodness.
Boo boo, what you want? Get it, boo.
What you want?
What you want?
What you doing? Hey.
You know, let me make a bath for you. Let me give you some candles. Let me get you some clothes. Let's order you a new purse, boo.
What are we
You want to
talking
eat that
about?
lunch? Let's go to lunch. Let's get that glass of wine. I treat myself very well.
Yes.
Very well. And honestly, probably better than anyone ever would. So I believe
somebody can match my effort, and baby, let me tell
Right.
you, the effort is real. Okay,
right.
sorry.
Like, no, but it's for real. Like, I treat myself very well. Don't give me some oils. Don't give me some facial stuff on point.
Girl,
Rose
let me tell
oil that sits under the sun
It's-
to mature.
you.
Done.
Doing what? Wait, bring me some crunchy ice.
Oh my gosh. And not just any crunchy ice. It has to be the perfect
Ooh.
textured ice. Now, if you can come to Mia with a
the
cup, with a big old cup, not just like a small
on.
little mug, but one of those plastic old Taco Bell cups.
Yes!
Or Subway cups.
Yes.
With the kind of soft ice, but not too
Oh,
soft, but
yeah.
hard enough where it kind of crunches. Yeah.
It just soft. Ooh. And then.
So yeah, treat yourself.
Okay, sorry.
So what are some ways you like to treat yourself?
Well, you know, I treat myself to the best restaurants. I get all the yummy foods. You know, I get up. I I get dressed. I like to smell good. I like lingerie and perfume.
Yeah.
That's my,
I'm just now getting into lingerie. I saved up from last year. And I'm like, ooh.
So that's one of my things. I mean, like, that's a thing for me. I really, 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 really love some beautiful lingerie and perfume. So for me, when I'm treating myself, that's what I do for myself. And I like to, I'm really into beauty. I like to surround myself with beautiful things, and
Me too.
I'm okay with it. It feels good. I like it. But it's because I'm treating myself well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm courageous for myself. I'm free. I'm happy. I'm all of that. And I know that what I desire in a relationship is coming too. But I'm good regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super good. And I'm going to be super great when it comes my way. Mm-hmm. Baby, won't you come my way? Oh, sorry. Okay, but how do you treat yourself? Good.
So I love flowers. I'm getting back into flowers. So when I moved to New York, I used to get flowers every weekend.
You guys have New York has the best flower markets, on the most random
right on the
corners, and they're so inexpensive. Girl, you go down here, this lady, $35 for. Okay.
So I started doing flowers again, which to me, like so sometimes I'll get a bouquet and put it in my living room or dining room, and then sometimes I'll put a bouquet in my room. But it just brings like a different element, like a different energy in the house, which I really like. I don't necessarily take myself out to dinner, like sitting down in a restaurant.
Oh.
I have a thing with that. I don't know what that is. Like I wouldn't say never, but I really will go out someplace by myself. Even to the movies. I've never gone to the movies by myself.
Okay, so I would tell you, I think it was after I forced myself to do it in college one time just to see if I could do it. And it was a scary movie. I don't even do scary movies, but I was just trying to see, like, can I do it? But I think that I treated myself to a movie because at the time, my husband, he didn't like the type of movies that I liked. He liked violent movies and action. I like action, but I don't like blood and gore. I don't need to see all that. I like romantic comedies. I like knowing that this is going to end happy. I'm cool with that. I don't give. So I started going to them by myself, and it was great. But I do enjoy. But I'm a people watcher too. I'm an observer.
People watching is cool, especially in Miami.
So, girl, I love
and New York too. But Miami, people watching.
I love going. I definitely enjoy going and eating by myself.
Yeah. But something else that I wanted to share is because some people may not look at it as like type of self-love is trying a new hobby.
Yes, that is.
Like tennis, like doing stuff like this. I think I started getting interested in tennis last summer. But
trying
it's not
new things. I'm taking guitar lessons.
See, like trying new things and doing new hobbies,
refreshing my français.
See, oui.
Je parle français.
We see.
Just expanding and it's exciting. And then you meet new people and there's a lot that comes with it.
Yeah. Or just even treating yourself to silly, not silly things, but small things like a dress or a candle. To me, it's like I'm gifting those things to myself, and why? Thank you for even thinking of me.
Thank you.
Right? Like, how did you know I needed some candles? I can't believe it. You always know.
But I would say, okay, so we're gonna switch gears real fast because we're back to Christie's favorite subject. So here's the question: Sex with your ex. Sex with your ex. Okay, so you're single, you're living, you're doing good, and there's some motion in the ocean. You like, look, what do you think about going back and having sex with the ex? Unattached.
Okay, so the ex.
Pure sex with the ex.
So with the ex, I think it depends on your relationship. So I will say this. So with my first ex-husband, there was a time, I think after our divorce, or maybe when we were separated, when I think I had sex with him once.
Just once?
Mm-hmm. He was. It was delightful.
It was delightful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it, so I was like, shoot, why not? I'm not seeing anybody. But yeah, I think it was after our divorce. Or maybe it was when we were separated. But I think, it depends on the ex. Like if it's, so for instance, you all know, and I want to put people on blast, so I won't. But I've, dealt with some challenges being with someone for a period of time. And the experiences under the sheets were subpar. So I don't want to do that again. So therefore, I would not go back to that person. Why would I? Because
so I think I'm gonna be honest. Child. I think
you done gone back.
No, I think it depends on you. I think this is where you got to be honest with yourself.
Well, yeah, it depends on you, but I think it also depends on
I think, I think when I say it depends on you, you got to be honest with yourself. If that is a trigger that takes you, because sometimes we think we think we're like, okay, I'm healing, I'm good. Look, I just need you to knock me off some, and you're like, okay, I can do that. But if you get home and you like,
you know how we women do,
we actually believe it. But then you get home and you're thinking about it. Yes.
Ooh, that's maestro. Oh my God.
There was no way this man don't love me the way he did. Look, we need to stop making up shit in our head. Especially so I think we just need to be truly honest with ourselves. So I would tell you, for me, I have learned I just can't do it. But especially if it's like we just like you the last one
right away. Yeah, like right away.
I can't. I do think I used to think I could. But I'm a what's the word for people who like the emotional attachment for sexual attraction? There's a word for people like they have to have some type of emotional attachment. What's the word? Like, is it sapiosexual?
No, sapiosexual or sapiosexual is when a person is attracted to someone's mind.
So I need to have some type of something like that. Yeah. So even when so if it's an ex, obviously there's some type of mental stimulation there, and if I'm trying to convince myself that I can keep it physical, I'm lying to myself because of the way that I'm attracted. Somebody, I can't detach from it once it's over. It's like, okay, oh my God, that was amazing, that was so good. All right, I'm cool, and I've tried.
So there are some people where I have
tried.
Okay, bye-bye.
But I'm talking about people with your ex.
Yeah.
I have, and it's just it sticks with me. Like I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm like, fuck. So I can't.
I felt the way you stroked me.
I do.
I know you wanted me.
See, and we fooling ourselves, and just because the sex with somebody, it is good, but you know what I mean. So we hold on to that, but there's no way that we're not meant to be together when we doing that. Right? Like what?
We were meant to be. When they made me, they made you.
People have you thinking like that, but nah, for real, keep it 100 with yourself.
No, it's right.
And think about what it would be like when you're getting what you want emotionally and physically and spiritually. So if you think you're getting that and you getting piss poor behavior emotionally, somebody fucking with your head and got you spinning around in a circle. So just imagine when it's like when you got everything going together and the sex is good. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
This girl is on fire. Okay,
sorry. Ooh.
So let's talk about sex with strangers. So we talked about sex with an ex. Yes or no? Would you guys do it? And if you do it, that's up to you. It's your business. It's not my It's none of my business.
We just talking. But with the strangers?
To me, I say no, because for those of you who know me, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac and a germaphobe, so no.
So, strangers. Well,
Now, you can do oral sex.
No.
Really?
No. But remember, I come from my paranoia is off. I realize what I'm saying sounds crazy. So just hear me out.
Say it.
So, I got this thing where I don't want nobody to feel like they got one up on me. Like, I don't want nobody
But how
out
oral
there.
sex one up on you?
Just so I'm saying with the stranger thing, I don't need anybody. Me is paranoid. Y'all don't listen. Don't be like this because this is crazy. I'm just saying, me is paranoid. I don't like, and this is probably straight ego, the thought that there could be somebody out there, you know, to be like, yeah, I have, like, that you got one up. Like, something about
I
that
see
that
what
I
you're
don't
saying.
like that. And you ain't about to have one up on me. So with a total stranger, no. But however, somebody that's not an ex, that's not a stranger, yes, just because, you know, I feel like I'm still in a position of power. It's like, you know, I chose you, I need you to do this and then get the fuck out. But a stranger, I feel like there's something like, yeah, like, I feel like they're going to think like they had me. Where it's like, no, nigga, I had you. But again, that is ego, paranoia.
Yeah, I don't think-
I'm a work in progress.
No, we all are. But if I were comfortable doing that with strangers, I would just be like, look, I just need some more.
I need a little.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that one's, I don't know. But I will say this though. If someone were to ask me and I'm doing a blind, like, would they be like, should I do it with the guy I was just with, or just, you know, go get me something different? I would say go get something different. Of course, be safe. Yeah, I'm always like, please protect yourself. Please protect yourself.
You can get stuff that does not go away,
girl. And
please.
look, I'm like, look, and keeping it 100. I'm also talking about protecting yourself spiritually.
Yeah.
You do not want these STDs.
Right.
We talking about spiritually transmitted demons.
You want to be like Ursher.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So,
You know that Ursher got that.
so much. I thought didn't he prove it wasn't true? They don't even know the girl.
No, he didn't even say anything.
He did, girl.
He has it.
I don't believe it.
He got that.
Girl. But anywho, I don't believe it. Just none of that shit makes sense to me. But anyway, so I would say that protect yourself. But if there is a potential for something to bring you back to a place that's harmful for you, stay away from it.
Stay away.
So being alone, you know, I'm not gonna say alone because that's not a good thing. Single can be an upgrade for your life. Mm-hmm. Because again, this is where you learn and grow. And I know you had a question about this.
Yeah. So I just, not necessarily about
Being single,
how it can be an upgrade, but I did have a quick question. So, because I was looking at something. I was looking at something online. It was talking about codependency and being in a relationship, and you can kind of tell. So, what are some signs that someone you know is codependent? Like, they need to be in a relationship.
ooh. Hey, look, a better question. What are some signs that you're codependent? That that yourself, like questioning yourself whether or not you're codependent. I think that when somebody is,
That is delicious.
What's that, kombucha?
Yeah. Watermelon wonder. Oh my.
Do you like it?
So good.
I think that when people fear being by themselves because they don't want to, if you're in a situation where you're just like, they don't want to face themselves, and so they do everything not to face themselves, even if that means staying in toxic places, but just like, I
know a good example of that one. Well, person.
You know what I mean?
Hops from relationship to relationship.
Yeah, like there's never allowing yourself to heal. But I don't, because I know it's a clinical term, so I don't know if that's necessarily codependent in the real sense of codependent. But I will say it's something to pay attention to if you cannot allow yourself to be alone, especially in between relationships. Yeah. And from a spiritual standpoint, because that's who we are.
You are
and neither one of us are licensed therapists, so I want to be careful not to make. But I will say this though, spiritually and just loving and empowering yourself. If you can't be by yourself, you can't do that. You know what I mean? So I think that's something to be careful of. But what do you think?
Oh my gosh, that kombucha is so good. but it makes you burp. So one of the things that I will say, because I mentioned earlier that I haven't really spent a lot of time alone, but I've always been that way. Like I've always, even when I was little, I always had like a little boyfriend. My little boyfriend Isaac. Isaac. I had a list. Isaac and Tyrone.
Get it out.
So I've always kind of had someone. No, I've always had someone. Not that I would have breaks, of course, but I've always had someone. But where I am now, I do like experiencing things that make me uncomfortable. So once I turned 30, I said, okay, if it scares me, it's something that I need to do, or I need to just face it head on, so that I'm not running from it, because I didn't like the way that made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is from my SAC background at Northwestern, from my undergrad, but I am always curious to learn why. And I'm curious to just learn. I like to learn. And I do a lot of researching. I take different, Mia knows. She was like, you get one more certification. But I enjoy the process of learning. And actually that's something that Jessica said, I think.
I love learning.
We should be.
I just like, I reached out to her.
Okay.
But I like learning.
No, I do. And so now I'm in this space where I'm learning to be alone. Like I'm learning to, and I'm learning to be okay with being alone, because it's a choice. I would make a choice to be with this person and be there. But now I'm making a choice to spend time alone and be at home. Ooh, that kombucha came through my nose. But I think if you're hopping from relationship to relationship, you don't give yourself an opportunity or space to heal.
That's true.
And then you also, when you don't allow yourself that space, you don't face the pieces or the parts of ourselves that we don't want to face, which is why we hop from relationship to relationship. Mm-hmm. And I think, once we face those toxic or dark, spaces in ourselves, we learn self-acceptance. And then I also think that when you don't allow yourself time to learn from your mistakes or to improve, you'll bring it into the next relationship.
That's honestly, that's what I'm talking about, like with that trauma bonding. Right, like that trauma bonding is like, if I haven't cleared whatever that was, I'm bringing it to the next space, and so it's difficult to see if what I'm looking at is really, what I'm seeing or what I need. I agree. You gotta have space to heal. Yep. I will say that up until recently, I've done the exact same thing. This is what I would say to girlfriends. Like, I feel like I've been in a relationship since I was 15 to 40. Like one after the other after the other.
Me, except like younger.
No,
preschool. Montessori.
No, literally, like. For real, like when I think about just relationship, one after the like.
I'm for real too.
So that's why I'm just like, you can sit your ass down. Like, you know what I mean? You cool, you good.
Have one seat.
Right.
You don't need to have several.
Just
have
one. Sit your ass down. So I do get that. But so as I've said this before, recently, she's ready to start dating.
Woo, she ready.
Woo!
I don't like dating. Don't ask me about it.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I don't think I've ever dated. I've only been in relationships.
I dated once.
I don't no. I've only been in I kind of don't really know.
So like after my first divorce, that's when I dated. So you didn't date after?
Oh, wait.
Because I went whoa, woo!
I wouldn't necessarily.
Don't stop, get it.
I wouldn't necessarily call that dating. I was fucking.
Oh my god, I had that time.
I was having a good time.
I had the time of my. I was like, who is this person? Where was she?
After my first divorce,
Yeah.
Because I had been with him since I was 22. Girl, bye. Yes, was that dating? Look, I'm like, Well, somebody might have thought I was dating them, but anyway, so.
So let me share with you my dating process. It was just so weird. So honestly, at this point in time, I was dancing with the Lyric Opera, and I remember a friend of mine, Chris. Oh, he's so sweet. Love you, boo. He was like, oh, well, you got to get on this dating app because that's where I met my boo. He's like, our time's been kind of tangled up here in the opera house. So, but this is how I found him because, we're on this app. So he said, you should get on the app. And so I tried it. I met a couple people, and it was just the weirdest experience ever. Like, you sit down with someone, and you're just like, so you're supposed to be my forever person or for my, like, long-term person? No thanks. But then it's like, then you're still trying to pretend like, you know, I really don't feel you, and I'm not really vibing with you, but I'm just going to sit here anyway because you're paying for the meal. And I just got to the point, I'm like, why are we here?
Like, what are we doing?
Right. Like, what are we doing? I'm here for a long-term relationship. You're here just for a fuck. I'm not the person you want. You're not the person I want. So, thank you. Check, please. Bye.
You know what? I feel that because let me tell you this. I've never been able to do this. Even when we were in college, me and my friend Kim and LaDwanya, we talk about this all the time. I can't break bread with anybody. I can if I don't like the way you speak or the way your mouth moves, I cannot sit across the table from you and have a meal with you. I can't fake it. That. I'm just like, nope, can't do it. I ain't that.
Now I don't think I can fake it now, but back then I did.
I mean, even in college though, like I literally was like, it was something. I couldn't do it, so I wasn't good at that part. But I think that post or in process of healing.
Yeah.
When you're dating. In process. Because we're always healing.
Yep.
So I don't want to make it seem like it's, as we, we just talked to Chris, I just talked about this.
I'm cured!
And then it's like, no, again, I don't want to release anything else. But I think that, avoid betraying yourself. You learn, because that's the good part about being single for a while. You learn and embrace and love yourself so much that when you see something, it's like, oh, you're very clear on what you're asking for, what you want is something that is a total betrayal of who I am. So I'm not able to do that. Good day, sir, or madam, or whatever.
No, you're right.
But
I was like,
it takes a minute to get there.
Right. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm finally listening. I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
You've been telling me all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So it's just, I think, like, so stuff like changing your schedule to fit their schedule. Like adjusting your entire life to fit something.
See, that's a problem. But if it's both people, it's cool, I think.
But see, this is the thing. That's one of those sneaky things that you don't even realize you're doing. You're like, oh, I mean, it's fine. Like, I just asked for a shift change and, blah, 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 blah. No. And you just like, those are like those very simple, small things that you start to do that you don't even realize. Like, I am literally rearranging myself in my life. And so when something, and I don't want to call it real versus fake, but when something is authentic and in alignment with who you are, you become more of who you are as opposed to less. So like when the love is right and the spiritual energy is connecting and it's off the chain, it's like something about that person just makes you want to flourish more into who you are. If I'm ever having to backtrack and be less of who I am, you ain't it. But the only reason I know that is because I just spent this time being single.
Right. But it's so funny that you said that. So I was watching, you guys know I don't own a TV. Well, my daughter owns a TV. But so I was watching. For real, y'all, she don't have no TV. I don't. And I don't know how to turn it on, so I'm not asked. So I was watching YouTube, and they were talking about Jordan. I don't know her. I forgot her last name, but she was friends with.
The Jenner girl.
Jenner.
I mean, the Kardashian, whatever. Yeah.
But she's with this athlete. I guess he's a basketball player or something. And she posted this picture and she said, "When I found you, I found myself." And some people were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that."
See, when I read shit like that, it makes me cringe. I'm like,
but here's the thing. So I kind of feel like, and maybe just the way that she phrased it, maybe. But this is the way I took it. I took it as, he brought a piece of her out of herself that she wasn't aware of. And she became more she was introduced to herself, like, oh wow, like you've actually opened a part of me. That's how I kind of saw it.
I can see that, but no. I mean,
she was like,
and again, this is just I understand completely what you're saying. And just my life experiences and where I am. And I know I have definitely been in a situation and relationship where I felt like, man, I found myself through you. But I will say that finding yourself through another person puts a different type of loyalty to that person. So now what you're doing is, because now you've attached who you are to that person.
I can see that.
So when you So if something should happen that is fractured and they're not who you thought they were or something, you start to disbelieve who you are because it was attached to them.
That's true.
So I'm not necessarily a fan, but again, this is at 43. This is after 2 divorces. This is after doing some healing and some growing. But I would say that finding yourself in you by yourself is so much more powerful than finding with somebody. Like you meet me.
Right.
So when you meet me, you're like, ooh, power. I see it. Oh my God.
Bam.
Bam. Pedals popping. I see them. So I don't, you know what I mean? But I also think, and I'm not trying to I don't want to talk down to her because I know exactly how that feels and where it is. And when you're in the middle of that, it feels amazing.
It feels so good.
You're like
remember puppy love? Like when you have that new love and it's just like, I just want to watch you breathe.
Yes. Oh my
I just
God.
want to watch you blink your eyes.
Who was I before you came into my life? That's a thing.
Remember that?
And it's part of the journey. And so I think, enjoy it. You grow from it. It's just, but I think that the much more empowered position to be in is when you find it in yourself. And sometimes find it in your solitude and sometimes in your pain.
Yep. And then learning to also not make excuses about their behavior. Because I know I've done this. So, like, in my first marriage.
And would defend your bullshit.
Yeah. So, he was physically abusive. And I remember thinking, I was messed up, you guys. Like, for real. I was psychologically, if you want to talk about MK Ultra, I was like, But I learned from that. But honestly, I remember I used to make excuses. I was just like, oh, well, the reason why we got into a wrestling match while I was pregnant was because I was the one that initiated. Or, I wasn't as loving or I wasn't as available, which is the reason why he cheated. And I was just making these excuses and I honestly started to believe his lies. Like, oh, well, maybe I did do that.
Well, you got to think about it. It's like, let me tell you, and this is a trick bag, for real. Because in that process where we're making excuses for somebody's behavior, we color it as I'm holding myself accountable. Mm-hmm. Like, and I've done this where you're just like, well, Mia, it's not like you were all the way perfect. You couldn't have said, you shouldn't have said it like that or blah, blah, blah. Right. And so then we disguise it as, I'm holding myself accountable, which is a good thing. People should hold themselves accountable. I'm keeping it real with myself. Mm-hmm. So then, and that allows us to look past their behavior, but we're coloring it as we're looking into ourselves like, I'm so reflective. Oh my God, like for real, we do dumb shit like that. But absolutely. We're making an excuse for our behavior, and that's such an easy trap to fall in. For their behavior, it's such an easy trap to fall in because we're coloring it as like we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like oh my goodness, I see myself in this situation and honestly, I could have done better. But at the end of the day, we talked about everyone has a choice.
Yep.
It does not matter what you do or what somebody does. Everybody is a sovereign being that has full authority over their choices and decisions. If you are the type of person that chooses and decides that you like to hurt people, knowing and choosing that that's what you want, then that's just where you are at that time.
But also know that it will come back.
It will come back.
So don't be surprised.
But it's not anybody else's job or the person on the receiving end of that to justify your bullshit.
Yep.
And don't justify, because at the same time, back to the self-betrayal, you're justifying your bullshit. Because my bullshit is your bullshit. And so now we're doing this together. And neither one of us is growing.
Right.
So I just, I don't, but then again, this is only after, doing it for so long. And then going through the process, like, wait a minute, hold on. So when I was, oh, bitch, look at you. You thought you was slick. You thought you was over there telling yourself, I'm growing. Look at me. I'm all reflective. No, you little tricky heifer.
That is funny.
So then, talking about agreeing to less than what you really want in a relationship because you want to keep somebody. Woo, child.
Yeah.
when you're single, you work through shit like that.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too is, and again, I'm not an expert in being single because this is new for me.
I don't know. I'm not an expert yet either. But I'm not claiming no expertise. I'm just telling you what I've learned.
But I will say.
But I have learned some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that. But yeah, I think I learned this before I became single. Is that once you understand or have an understanding of who you are, like you are bringing the table, the chairs, the lamps, the plates,
girl,
the silverware. Like once you
flowers,
understand, right? Like once you understand who you are, then you will not agree to less than what you really want in a relationship. And I've started to come to that realization, I'd say within the last 2 months, maybe 3 months. So it's been fairly new for me.
I honestly, so I would tell you for me, the healing process for myself, the first part of the healing process was recognizing that I was playing myself.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to recognize your shit.
That was the first part of it. It's like, oh wait a minute, no, you were playing yourself.
It hurts. It's
because it hurts so bad. You like, wait, because you like, I'm a whole diva. Like, what are we even talking?
It's like that Martin, like,
yes, girl, playing myself. So realizing that, then it's like, okay. Let me get this together.
Yeah.
Like for real. I just, and then once you realize you're playing yourself, it's just like, okay, but I don't want to do that anymore. And then coming to the realization, not only have I been playing myself, but I've been doing a damn good job of tricking myself into thinking that I'm not playing myself.
But we all do that.
But that part,
right? We all do that.
So then and that's the awareness part. Once I became aware of that, I couldn't do it anymore.
You big old dummy.
You big girl.
And once you realize you can't go back.
You can't go back.
So
that was now it's just like, oh, okay. Well, let me sit with this and figure this out because that's stupid. Like, wow. Like, okay, part of me is like, you know what? I got to give you credit because you did that. You tricked yourself. And, I think I'm a pretty prolific, wise woman. But when I say straight tricking myself, tricking. I'm like, you kind of did that.
Tricking.
It's like you kind of did that, but like, why? So I think that's that.
So what do you think about being the one that's doing all the work in the relationship to make it work?
Girl.
I'm sure we've all been there at some point in time.
But you have to just ask yourself, when you're the one that's doing all of the work in a relationship, and again, this is why you're single. You give yourself the time to reflect back on this. You're like, oh, wait a minute. When you start thinking about stuff, you're like, but then I remember when we got back together. Wait a minute, hold on, no, but I did that. I was the one who acquiesced. I was the one who said we should. When you start realizing that you're doing all the work, you got to ask yourself, I'm putting in all this work into us. I'm not even putting all this work into me.
Did you add some new cheese in there?
No, it's like 3 different cheeses in there.
Oh, what's the third cheese? I think that's what I tasted. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. It's 3.
Is it Swiss?
No, it's I can't remember right now. But it is, yeah. It's like a cheddar from this Wisconsin company. I get it from over there at the little European market. It's actually delicious. But okay, so anyway, that's what I think. But what do you think about when you're the one doing all the work?
When you are the one doing all the work, and I'm sorry, I'm over here chewing the microphone. To me, that's a sign that the other person is not interested or does not value the relationship as much as you do.
Oh, let me just say this. And I should have said this in the last
but I have a
breakup.
caveat though, because there are times in a relationship where you might be giving 80 and he's giving 20, and he might be giving 60 and you're giving 40. So I understand, but you have to also show me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind.
That's once we get in a rhythm, because life is cyclical, and so a relationship. Sometimes I'm pulling, we pushing. I get that. However, though, if you're the one doing, I would tell you this: if you're in a relationship and you are confused about how somebody feels about you or how they feel about a relationship, don't be confused, because that means they just don't want what you want. Mm-hmm. When somebody is in alignment with you, when you guys are on the same page, you are anything but confused. You are clear. You are confident. You are you have total understanding. It's just a different level.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, well, if I'm over in my head trying to guess and figure out and put pieces together of what's going on in our relationship, I'm doing too much already.
True.
I'm already playing myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the takeaway, Christy?
So, I mean, the takeaway, and I feel like we talked about this last episode, but, you know, your value is not based on being in a relationship. You are a whole person. And I think that's the takeaway. Like, coming to the understanding that you are a whole person. You are bringing the table, the chairs.
Baby. Like, and you know, if I'm bringing them, and it's going to be cute, too.
Yeah.
Like for real. So just do. Oh my goodness, girl. I what she said. Period. Okay, so we talked about temple work. I'm moving on to temple work. We're winding down, guys. So this is the only thing I want to add to that. Y'all, being single can be fun. Like, enjoy yourself. Be in the moment. Enjoy the journey, because at some point you won't be single again. You'll be looking back at the single time and you want to be like, man, I had a ball then. Just keep enjoying your life and enjoying discovering more about yourself. It's so freaking fun. Like, for real. Okay, so temple work. Creation time, you guys. So we talked about this before. So, you know, when you think about your dream relationship, you know, that perfect love, I'm saying air quotes perfect, the thing that people might think you're crazy for wanting or desiring, you know, I want you to think about that.
You're not crazy.
And we're going to write about it.
Yep.
Get into your journals, get into your temple journals, and like write about, you know, how they look at you, how you feel when you're with them, the things that you do together, like the vacation that you're going on. And I want you to write about it in present tense, not to come. It's like, you know, write about it, just like let your it's happening right now, and allow your imagination to run free. Like, imagine, yes, look at you. Nah, don't Christy over here writing Zane type books. Imagine, you know, Sunday morning with this person that this match for you, because I don't want you to focus on a person. And I'll say this, even if you're in a relationship, you can do this too, because I'm gonna explain to you why. So it's not about the person, it's about how you feel in this relationship. Yeah. What you're giving and receiving in this relationship. And again, anything, your sex life, I don't care. Like, just allow it to run free. And then I want you to look back over everything that you've written. And again, you can do this. Allow your imagination to run free again. This is just between you and you. Nobody needs to know this. This is your healing and your work. This is your temple work. Now look back over everything you've written, and then honestly ask yourself, do you treat yourself the way that you've described your perfect love to treat you? Do you look at yourself the way that you want someone to look at you? Wow. Do like all of these things that you're asking for from somebody else, are you doing them for yourself? Right. And remember, guys, it's all about energy matching. So if you aren't doing these things, how are you manifesting them into your life? So write that out. Girl, you got to do this for yourself. Come on. Basket. And if you're not doing these things for yourself, if you're not seeing yourself in that light, if you're not completing yourself, then start immediately. But but sometimes we have to step outside of ourselves and see what we're asking for from somebody else in order to know how we should treat ourselves. And guess what, guys? That's okay. Whatever gets you there, get you there. But have fun with it. I mean, I'm talking about have fun with it. Whatever you want. Make a story out of it. And then, like, as you're writing this, feel it and resist the urge to figure out how this is going to happen. Just feel it. Just feel it. Like, breathe it. Do it. Like, when we talked about earlier, what does that person, how do they walk? How do they carry themselves? Yes. How do they speak to other people? You know, I'm all about how somebody smells. How do they dress? They heartbeat. You know, like, how do you, what is it? What is it? Be it. Allow it to happen, and then Allow yourself to be there for yourself. All right, Christie, what's our
sexy.
crystal of the week?
Okay, so this is actually, let me take it out of my bra. All right, so today's featured
Take it
crystal.
out of my bra.
Today's featured crystal is stromatolite.
Stromatolite.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Stromatolite.
I haven't seen this one. Let me see it.
I got that from Lotus Den too.
Oh,
Shout out to the Lotus Den.
I've seen this.
So they are stromatolites.
Jasper?
Stromatolite. It's a fossilized they're layered deposits of algae, and it's found within ancient sedimentary rock. And so these old single-celled organisms are believed to be some of the first forms of life on the planet. And some of the algae found in the rock is said to date back over 3.5 billion years. And so the spiritual properties of this particular rock crystal is it's great for the root chakra. And so it will help with transition, transformation, and personal growth. So we're talking about being full and being single. And so this is dealing with maturity and personal growth and transformation. And so it's said that if you continue working with this stone a few times a week, and you'll start to see yourself open up to the world around you. You may also gain a newfound view of your daily environment, as well as a higher appreciation and love for the living beings around you. And through this particular new set of eyes, you will help to put yourself on an endless path towards joy, happiness, love, and enlightenment. And so that's the reason why I thought this would be a really great crystal.
Love it.
And so with meditating with it, so of course you guys know how I do. I hold it in the left hand, which is the receiving hand. But something as I was doing a little bit more research on this particular stone, crystal, whatever you want to call it, you can place it under your feet while you're meditating because it's for the root chakra. And so it's, you can feel its energy sensitive that way.
Uh-huh.
So the funny thing is, so I started carrying that when my husband and I decided to separate. I started working with it.
Really?
I did. That's why. That's
That
the
makes
reason why I
sense.
bought it.
I get that.
And so I started. I used to carry it around with me all the time, and so maybe I should start carrying it again. Who knows? So, have you had an experience with that?
You know what? I haven't worked with this crystal, but is this the one that they kind of look like chocolate a little bit? Is this?
I don't know.
This is funny. I feel like I kind of remember you buying this crystal.
You probably do.
I'm like, I kind of feel like I remember this. I haven't worked with this one. It's funny. A lot of the opaque type crystals,
like the darker ones.
I'm just now like I love bloodstone, jasper, but I've for some reason I'm like some of the ones that have a little bit of translucency, and that's just the ones that I've been attracted to. So I haven't worked with it yet.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them that I haven't really, like that one was when I first started getting back into crystals. And if I buy any now, it's because I'm using them on my clients. But yeah, I love it. And honestly, as far as like this, being a stone of transformation and growth was extremely helpful for me. But an affirmation that I would like to include for today is I approve of myself. So a lot of times, like we'll say I love myself or...
Come on.
But I don't know if we can ever say that we approve.
I approve
of ourselves. And I think that's really important.
I'm excited. I like that. I approve of myself. Yeah, I do. I like that. I approve of myself. Yeah, we got to approve of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, our message for the day, guys. It's time for new beginnings.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it's time for the percolator. I'm sorry.
It's time for the percolator.
I'm sorry.
It's time for the percolator. Guys, when we're in the gym on Thursdays, when Ronica is coaching us that day, a shout out to Ronica.
Her house music.
Her and her house music. Man, I'm gonna tell you, it is hard not to dance. And it's hard because you can barely move because you're tired from your workout. But when that beat hits right,
Man, when that beat hits right.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, we are such Chicago kids. Okay. All right. It's time for new beginnings. So the message is, while we are in this process of new beginnings, and we're talking about singledom, and so for any of you out there who are kind of entering this phase, it's time to show yourself some grace and stand in your truth with this new beginning. Okay. So it's like, be courageous for yourself, be loving for yourself, and be authentically yourself.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in this journey, wherever you are in the journey, even if you know, hey, there's some growth, tomorrow I may be different, in 3 weeks I'm going to be a completely different person. It doesn't matter. Worry about today. So wherever you are on this journey, love it. So, and just try to be present and stop worrying about the future and leave the past behind. But you need to forgive yourself. We talked about this earlier. Mm-hmm. Just remember, whatever it is that you did at that moment, you thought was best for you at that time. Yep. So allow yourself some grace there. So now, as you are allowing yourself to intentionally heal and gain a better understanding of the lessons that you're supposed to learn, what matters now, the only thing that matters right now is what you decide to do from this moment. And then when you're in the next moment, from that moment, remember, we always have the choice. You're always in the seat of power. You get to choose, even if you are in a place where you get to choose how you respond to something. Mm-hmm. You always have a choice. I don't care what it is, okay? And pay attention to how you feel around certain people and places. If you feel like you have to negotiate, dim, or dial down any part of you, that energy is not for you. Yep. Period. But there could be a lesson. So learn the lesson so you don't have to repeat them. This life that you guys are living, that we're each living, that I'm living, that Christy's living, is our own individual creation. Yep. So, and it's yours to live in whatever way is meaningful to you. And like, I know that I sound repetitive, guys, but when I tell you, you literally have the power to create your existence any way that you want to. It's about being intentional and present. So, just know that you are solely responsible. We talk about being full, remember? Mm-hmm. You are solely responsible for the quality of your life. No one else can complete you, fill you, or make you whole. You are full, Full, capital, period, bolded, all of that by yourself. And if you so choose, a partner energy that you desire and deserve will come, because it's an energy match. But that's after you come from accessing, learning, loving, and accepting your full self. Yep. So that's our message for today.
That's good.
We love you guys.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
And when I tell you, we like some of the messages that we receive, like, really are humbling, and we're so happy to be here. And we say all the time, as we are sharing, we know that we're helping somebody step into their power and heal for themselves, and we're doing it with and for ourselves as well. So it's a beautiful thing. But I know that each and every, I don't care who you are, I know that you are a whole, beautiful, amazing creation, and a manifestation of God walking this earth. And you hear, that means you have purpose that nobody else can touch. Your vibe is unique.
And you are your own creator.
You are your own creator. Whatever you want, do that. Yep. Period.
We have a choice.
We have a choice. All right, so we're locking it down, guys.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so good. I had something to say with what you said above, or like what the divination was for the day, but I forgot what I was gonna say. So since we're at an hour and 40, are we at an hour and 45 now? 43.
Are you serious?
It's very serious. An hour and 43 minutes. I will, as Mia puts her forehead in her hand.
How does it go by?
But thank you guys for listening to Two Queens and Crystal Things. And before we go, please show us some sisters, your sister girlfriends, your spiritual girlfriends. Show us some love by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or one of the other podcast platforms that you all may be listening to us on. Stay tuned for next week. What are we going to discuss?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We literally have, like, because we switched around from last week, we have like 2 or 3 that are just in the hopper. So we'll eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Yep. And if you have any questions, make sure that you can send them to info@twoqueensandcrystalthings.com, or
Yes.
you can
Hit
go
us
to
up on
our
our
IG
IG.
page. We've been getting some comments and some questions,
And we
love
appreciate them. We
love
respond
them, and we
to
really
everything.
appreciate them.
We respond to everything.
So you can always send your questions there. You can always respond to our polls. Also, if you are looking for an Akashic reading, or if you're looking for, a spiritual coach, Mia is available for you, and you can find her at Wings, WINGS Unleashed 444. Is there an underscore? No.
Nope, just Wings Unleashed 444. And if you are looking for some crystal Reiki, we need to move this energy healing around with the Reiki, with the healing, moving around.
I got you.
Crystal
I
Christie got you.
got you.
And she is at Christie with an IE .R .Edwards on IG. So thank you guys. We love you. And we appreciate everyone who has reached out and come to us. I wish I could make you feel the gratitude.
Oh my goodness. It's tremendous. Thank you.
Thank you. We love you guys. And keep the questions coming.
Yep.
Keep the comments coming. We appreciate them. We love you guys. And we out.
We are out. We didn't say our peace, love, and soul.
Oh. Until next time.
Peace, love. I think it's love.
It's love, peace, and soul. It's time for dinner, guys. I'm hungry.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.